Yo, right here in the small box. So shout out to some of the members in the Discord for letting me know that Glasses Malone had an urban culture test for Toronto, and I'm going to take that test for today. So first of all, shout out to Tiff. She let me know when Glasses Malone was live that he had the test, but also shout out to Neighbor, everyone's favorite neighbor in the neighborhood. She's the one that sent me the link for this video. So I'm going to go ahead and watch this and take the test and see what we can do. Can I pass with flying colors? Can I really rep Toronto? Shoot, we're going to find out in this video. So with that being said, y'all know how we start this, right? So let's go ahead and make it happen, shall we? Let's go. Yo, you, right here in the small box, Welcome back to Flex Mob Reactions, only on the Flex Mob Network. I'm Flex. Welcome back to Sid's channel. Hope everyone's having a good day. Hope everyone's having a great day, to be honest. All right, happy Monday. I know Mondays can be tough sometimes, but as long as you with your peoples, you came home from work safe, and you doing good, you should have no issues. Now, mind you, I'm still sick. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been like a good 2 weeks maybe now. I don't know what happened to me, but I'm still putting these videos out. I'm still getting to this money on. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to D. Smith. Let's discuss. I appreciate you for this video. So, Glasses Malone Tests Drake Fans on urban culture. Total meltdown. Now, I don't know about a meltdown, but if it was really that bad, then we got a problem. But if I can answer these questions, y'all got to rate me. I'm just saying, y'all got to rate me for real. I really be from here. Anyway, look. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the vibe. You tapped in with your favorite Canadian reaction channel. Make sure you hype this video up, bro. The more I get these questions right, hype up this video. You know what I'm saying? Let's get started, though.
I don't think Drake ever presented himself to be cool.
Ooh.
I just don't think so.
You don't think he presented himself to be cool?
No. I think he genuinely said, I am trying to communicate an idea to people. And I'm going to speak in their language. And I remember he said the dude in
Okay, I see where you're going already off the bat. So here's the thing. If we're going to look at Drake from a marketing standpoint, a lot of people don't realize that when Drake came into this game, this music industry, the music world, he came in with no package. Now, what does it mean by package when we talk about Drake and his artistry? Usually, on average, anytime an artist is introduced to the world, we're going to know a multitude of things that comes with this artist. You're going to see them wear their favorite brands, their favorite shoes, clothes. They're also going to rep where they're from, right? So I have a feeling that's where this video is going to go. But the idea is you get a better understanding of the area the more you see this artist. That's a part of the marketing package, the media package that comes with this individual, right? So when you think about, say, for example, let's keep it easy and look at New York. When you look at New York, already right off the bat, you know what they about, you know how they talk, you know what they wear, you know how they walk, you know what they drive, you know what they eat, you know what they drink. Already, all these little things that's a part of the culture, you already see it with New York. It's not one artist pushing this culture. It's a multitude of artists representing where they're from. The representation that should have came with Drake should have been clear. But because he was just thrown at us. And here's another thing when it comes to Toronto and Drake. It's less about what we liked, and it's more about what we accepted. Because a lot of people don't understand. We had our greats in the early days, but the issue was to translate it to the younger generation. How do you take these greats and you make them relatable to the younger generation? Because that was the greatest disconnect from here, right? So you got to consider that when you look at Toronto. There's a lot of things that went wrong in terms of the marketing. I know at the time we were still figuring out the marketing, but the idea was to push this artist with the place they from so we can deliver something outstanding for the individuals from not only here but to represent and show to the world. Right? So it was tricky. And the reality is, like, if you look at Cardinal, if you look at Choclair, Maestro, Mishi, they weren't that relatable to the younger audience. For the people growing up at the time that were old enough to understand Wagwan, they would relate to these artists. That's how it goes. But because they weren't relatable to the younger generation, they had to find a new face, and that face was Drake. And from then, they just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. There was no, like I said, no package, but they pushed this person that could do good at what he does. And it was just off to the races at that point.
I was talking to me on IG. Shout out to homie, solid dude. It wasn't like he was disrespectful. It was just an honest conversation, and I really appreciate that.
You give everybody a chance, man.
Not everybody, but if you blessed enough, to come across my realms and we politic, I'm going to give you genuine. You are a true
messenger, B. You are a true messenger, B. For real.
I don't know about that, but I'm saying I gave him the honesty.
He passed the word, Coach. He passed the word on, B.
And he asked me,
heathens to all heathens, to the smallest little small. Pass the word to them, B.
He's a shepherd. He's a shepherd.
He's a shepherd. The hip-hop shepherd, B.
Hip-hop shepherd.
Anyway, so he asked me, he said, well, give me an example. I said, that's like during this battle, right? The last battle that just passed, when he said, the West Coast, y'all do fades, right? I'm handing them out. And I'm like, we don't do fades, right? We run fades, and you can hear it and you be like, fades. And then you take that, right? But you don't understand it's the word before, right? We run fades. Now, in a regular English language, run fades could be like you're running away from a fight, possibly, if you don't understand what's being said.
That's probably what Drake heard. If you say run fade, he probably would think that's what that meant. Like, yeah, he's running away from the fade.
Canada don't know nothing about no fades. We don't know about these words or these terms. We have our own words and terms, and you also got to consider how diverse Canada is. Arguably, Canada is like one of the most diverse countries in the world. Arguably, because I know there's other countries and continents around the world that does have that level of diversity as well. But in Canada, it's pretty hiked up to a maximum, if I'm going to be honest. But you got to consider that when you're bringing hip-hop culture over here, because we're not going to know these words. So fades, we don't know about that.
And that's the just thing about hip-hop. Using the terms fresh, right? Fat, all these different ideas that hip hop has popularized. There's things that we understand how to use them innately based off how we grew up. So to me, it's like an obvious thing. And I don't think it makes him any less or any more of a talent. I just think here is the facts. Here are the facts.
Right.
The facts are this. And so it's like every time we had this conversation, right, Trap, I'm always be like, what do you know about Toronto street urban culture? Like you've gotten art from this person for 17 years at a high level. You've gotten art from this person for 17 years at a high level. 17 years. 17 years at a high level, you've gotten art.
I mean, you probably seen the CN Tower. You probably seen our subway. And mind you, that wasn't even the first line. Like, that was one of the newer lines that y'all saw. Line 1, when it's like, it looked like it was all straight down. If you remember from that music video, like the subway looked like it just went straight down with like no like cars. That's how they made them. Like line 2, like I felt like he should have done the video on line 2, but it is what it is. But yeah.
I'm talking about music videos. I'm talking about records, albums, collab features.
17 years?
17 years. Actually, 18 years now.
Damn. 18? Damn. Okay.
And I always ask these questions. And it'd be simple questions. Shout out to homie Mr. Fresh, because Mr. Fresh here, and I know he with the owl movement, and I get it. It does sound like I'm being a dick. And I swear to you, cuz I'm not being a dick.
It's analysis.
I'm just saying here is something that we should protect, and this is how we protect.
It's the same analysis anybody in the industry would do. It's it. You're looking over the facts. You're analyzing the details, and you're coming to a conclusion. Anybody that's hurt from this video, or you feel hate in a certain way, that's on you. Take that up with yourself and your therapist. I don't care. This is the reality. You analyze facts. So go ahead.
Protect it. So I would ask everybody the same thing. If I asked the lunch table, right, I said, hey, man, here's some lessons in street urban culture that you got through the arts, right? If I asked the lunch table, y'all can all comment at once. I don't care if you super chatted, feel me, any of the above, right? It's all love. What kind of car do people from Los Angeles, street urban from people from Los Angeles drive? What would those cars be called?
Give them some time
Fill up
to
the
answer.
lunch table.
Give them some time to answer.
Fill up the table. Tell me what kind of cars West Coast people drive. What are they called?
Let's see what we got here.
What would Drake answer be right now?
Pretty low riders.
Right, you see that, right? Lolos, right? Six folds.
Okay.
Right, six folds.
Okay.
Low riders, right? Low lows, whatever you want to call it, whatever terminology you got, right?
Hoopties, you said hoopties, classics.
Right, solid.
Okay, lolos.
Okay,
low
right.
riders.
What kind of cars do brothers from street urban culture drive in Miami? Right, that's a question to the table.
See, that's the thing though, because the reality is like it's for here in Toronto, it's more about what you can get your hands on. But I know for a fact today, it's the black Suburbans. It's the black Suburbans dudes be driving today. But back in the day, oh God, anything that's black, whether if it's like an Accord, a Civic. Civics were popular. Let's be real. The Civics were popular, but at the same time, if you could get like a Toyota, like what did they have Camrys back then, or a Corolla? You know, a lot of people were driving a Chrysler. The Chrysler was hot back then. You know, like you could say in terms of luxury for street urban culture, the Chrysler. What was it? The Chrysler PT Cruiser or something like that, if I'm correct. I could be wrong on the name, but I know it was a Chrysler Cruiser for sure. We weren't really messing with the Dodge unless you run. Nah. The Dodge, like Caravan maybe, but that's more for like an excursion. But we didn't have a definitive whip. If that makes sense. You got to remember, like, we got a whole multitude of whips. Don't forget the BMWs, too. But we had a whole multitude of whips. A lot of people be driving around here. It wasn't just this one linear thing that we all say we drove this. We never had that. I can tell you for today, it's the Suburbans, the black Suburbans. Especially downtown, the black Suburbans is like, you knew somebody was in that. That's when it comes to the Suburbans, you knew somebody was in that for sure. But in terms of back in the day, maybe like an Escalade. All black. We all know the ones. The one you have to climb up. The Escalade you got to climb up for sure. But yeah, we didn't really have like a super definitive whip.
What kind of cars do brothers from Miami drive, right?
Ain't nobody driving no whips in Miami. Cut it out, y'all.
Yes, they are.
Whips?
Right, there you go.
What
kind of whips? Whips is just a lingo, but whips is just a lingo, right? So they call dunks, right? I see y'all saying that
dunks. Yeah,
like dunks. Fine. What kind of cars? What's the title of a car that people drive in Houston? How about in Houston? In the city of Houston, all this street urban culture we got, right? All this representation of that version of Texas. What do you call? Slabs. I see somebody say slabs, right? Slabs. You hear them saying slabs on swingers, right? On these
buckets,
right? Boom, they doing their thing. Tell me what that is for Toronto street urban culture. 18 years of music, 18 years of art.
Drake,
tell me the same thing for Toronto.
Drake said they rolling on fades out there.
Like I said, the biggest problem with Toronto or Canada in general is the diversity. When you focus so much on the diversity, you lose the idea of culture. Because when you have a diverse multitude of cultures all over the place. And now you try to get them all to blend together into one monoculture. That's not real culture. That's manufactured so that you can have it this way. That's not real.
Here, I all shout out to every owl fan
Rolling on cruisers.
that fuck with me. Tell me, what do they drive? 18 years. 18 years.
Rolling on them fades.
Rolling on fades.
18 years. They do have some. You don't know because you're not getting them from that person because that person's not a hip hop act. They're not an act. They're not a product of street urban culture in Toronto. The reason you don't know, even though you have 18 years worth of material, because that's not what he represents. He's a pop artist. He'll tell you about a lowrider before he tells you about what's happening in Toronto street urban culture. Here, I got some more questions. Fashion. Let's go to fashion.
Hold on. Even before that, like, think about it like this. In Toronto, a lot of people don't even know what a Cullinan is back in the day. Even today. Nah, screw that. Today. A lot of people don't even know what a Cullinan is. Like the Rolls Royce Cullinan. A lot of people don't know what that is. But like when I learned about it from like the music videos and like the behind the scenes of the music videos. And then you see the car, you're like, oh nah, bro, yo, what a Cullinan? Yo, make sure the Cullinan all white, pearly, inside, off-white. Bro, a lot of people out here are not gonna know what a Cullinan is. Like they gotta like, for people around here, they're probably on Google right now. Like, how do you even spell that? Colonin, Cullinin. Like, is that how you spell it? Cullinan. Is Cullinanan, if I'm correct. Cullinan. Either way, a lot of people around here don't know about that. But that goes to show you we don't got culture like that around here for real, bro.
Let's go to fashion.
Uh-oh.
Right, let's go to fashion.
Uh-oh.
Right, let's go to fashion.
This is a big one right here.
What kind of pants do people on the West Coast wear? As far as Southern California gang, street urban culture, give me the name of the pants. What brand pants do they wear?
Oh, Dickies with a crease?
Right.
What you wearing? I don't know. Dickies, right?
Dickies, right? Everybody say that. Shout out to the table. Dickies. Here's a test for the table. Super chat it, however you want. Dickies. Got it. Dickies. Cool. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Dickies. Okay.
All right. What kind of glasses, fashionable glasses, do people wear in Detroit? What are they called?
Oh, no. Glasses? No, we don't.
I need to give me a pair of those for real. I'm giving me a pair of those.
What kind of glasses? Glasses that people in Detroit wear. What are they called? There you go, Daddy. Yo. There you go.
Is that it?
Asking y'all hip hop. There you go. Super chat in.
Buffs,
right? Got it.
Buffs.
Right. What kind of shoes?
I ain't got.
No, we ain't even go there. We ain't gonna do that. Right?
Damn,
okay,
I ain't got nothing here right now.
All right. Okay. So give me what type of pants are popular in Toronto street urban culture?
True religion, motherfucker. Remember, I'm still sick. I can't laugh too hard. True religion. We had them true religion joints back in the day. Don't forget about international clothing, the Mecca joints. A lot of people shop that international clothing to get the Mecca jeans. Okay, with the Mecca shirt. Okay, you gotta, see, here's the trick. Canada's cheat code. Toronto's cheat code. You got to consider our region now. You got individuals on the West, you got Midwest, and then you got the East Coast. You got to group Toronto in with New York. We take a lot of similarities from New York. All right, when you talk about the clothing, it was definitely true religion. But we also had Rockaware up here too. Another thing, early 2000s, we had K-Swiss sneakers. K-Swiss joints was the joints. They were very popular in the early 2000s, for sure. Let's not forget Fat Farms. We had the Fat Farms up here too. All right, you got to consider, we had a lot of the similar things New Yorkers had. We had the Timberlands up here. A lot of us up here were rocking Timbs. Let's make them clear. That Timbs were expensive too. What they go for now? Like $200 something for a Timberland boot? Oh my god. But nah, looking at the jeans, the pants, looking at the sneakers. Oh, mind you, for sneakers, everything was high top. From the Air Forces to the Jordans, everything was high top. We love the high top ish, especially on the Air Forces. Triple white Air Forces, all white high top joints, not the low cuts. In the 2020s, it's the low cuts people be rocking. A lot of people like the low cuts because of the breathability on the ankle, but the high cuts. And you also got to consider how many injuries in basketball came from the high tops, right? But the high top joints were major for sure. So that's for sneakers for sure, for pants for sure. In terms of like a shirt or jacket, it was like anything that had that fur. You know, the hood with the fur around the hood? We rocked that till oh my God. From when we saw them rappers had it, I don't remember the exact brands, but almost every jacket at the time that came out, regardless of what kind of fill that it had in the jacket, whether it was like synthetic or down fill, as long as it had that fur around the hood, and then you bring it over, and it's just like the fur around your face, oh nah, buddy. Oh nah, we rock that. So consider the loose jeans, the winter jacket with a t-shirt, like a white tee. You probably go to Athlete's World, okay? And for the people in Toronto that remember Athlete's World, okay, because I was adjacent to Champs and Foot Locker. All right, so considering you have Athlete's World or the Spot, okay, the Spot in Square One at the time. I remember they moved to Brampton, but that was a major spot too. I think they had one in Eaton Center as well, if I'm correct. But considering those places, that's where you went to get your ish for sure. So hey, I know I'm passing this with fine colors. I'm passing this with fine colors for sure. Cause I remember. But yeah, no, this is a lot of people in Canada won't know this because we just shot, everything is all over the place. Like I said, diversity was like the greatest thing that we pushed. But because that was the only thing we pushed, we kind of got lost behind the idea of diversity because there's nothing that comes after the diversity. Because once every culture brings their own culture here, there's no culture here. So it's all these cultures here replacing the idea of what our culture should have been. So,
what kind of pants? What kind of glasses?
Skinny jeans.
I was about to violate them. I said pom pom shorts.
That's a pom pom shorts.
How about
That's
that?
crazy.
All 18 years worth of music, 18 years worth of art, 18 years worth of music video. You know why you don't know?
I mean, the Tommy Hilfiger was major. The polo joints. Polo joints are still crazy. Especially like the sweater vests. If you had a polo sweater vest and you had like a white t-shirt under, oh nah, hey, and then you had the True Religion jeans, hey, I'm just saying, like,
because this person doesn't represent street urban culture in Toronto. That's why you have no idea. You knew that the first time you saw Snoop Dogg, you knew that. You knew that, period. The reason you don't know that with this specific artist is because they are not a part of street urban culture. Here's the last test. What kind of shoes are popular for street urban people in New York City?
Tim's, easy.
Trap, you got some Timbs on right now?
Nope, not right now. I got some ready. You already know I do.
How about
some
that?
Butters.
How about that? New York City. What kind of street urban shoe? What brand of shoe are they wearing that's popular, right? Right. Y'all can go through tons of them, right? You could do Tim's, Uptowns, all that, right? How about in Los Angeles? How about in the street urban culture of Los Angeles? What kind of shoes?
K-Swiss.
They used to be y'all shit. Though.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they
used to be y'all shit.
We had the K-Swiss too, yeah.
It was actually basketball sneakers at first. That was the crazy thing about it.
All right, how about, there you go, Chucks, right? Chucks, you got it. Cortez, right? You just naming shoes. You know, how about even in New Orleans? Do anybody know in New Orleans? How about in New Orleans? What's a shoe that they
Masterpiece
made
sneakers.
popular, right?
Masterpiece sneakers.
Outside of
The masterpiece.
Right? You know about the soldiers, right? The Reeboks, right? The Reebok classics, the soldiers, right? You know about that, right? You're aware.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, everybody
Somebody
that
said
table
Dada.
going crazy, right? You got it. Soldieries, right? You got it, right?
Dada.
Shout out to the NO. What type of shoes are popular for Toronto street urban people?
Penny loafers.
18 years worth of art, 18 years worth of music video, 18 years worth of albums.
I already went over it. We had the K-Swiss, the Fat Farms, Air Force high tops, the Jordan 1 high tops. You know, they try to come out with the low cut Jordan 1s. That didn't work. I'm going to let you know, them didn't work. As soon as they had those and they tried to run the colorways on that, it didn't work. But for the Air Forces, Air Forces was in full effect because it was simple, to the point. It was cheap, affordable, and it was something to rock that was good. So, but going back in the day, the high tops were major. So you had the K Swiss, you had Fat Farms, you had the high tops, Air Force Ones, the Jordan 1s, they gotta be high tops. What else? Timberlands, we got the Timberlands out here too. I'm trying to think if there's another brand that we were like. We had the Reeboks. We definitely had Reeboks, but we didn't go super crazy on the Reeboks. We had the Nike Shocks. When Vince Carter wore the Nike Shocks, yeah, we were rocking them joints, B. The Nike Shocks for sure. We had them on crazy. When Vince Carter was the king of Toronto at the time, regardless if we won or not, them Shocks were key. They really sold the idea. Yo, when you press this button, was that on the Shocks or was that on another shoe? But I remember the commercial. I don't remember the shoe. I remember the commercial. You press that button on the sneaker, that air bubble. Everyone thought they could jump higher. Everybody thought they could jump higher, thinking that will increase our hops. What? They sold a placebo. They sold a sneaker with a placebo. That's crazy. But I think that's it. In terms, like, we had the Adidas. Adidas was going crazy, like the Superstars. Because you would have the Superstars with the tracksuit, the traditional Adidas tracksuit with the rose. For sure. But I think that's it. Pumas weren't really, like, super, super crazy until, like, later on. Under Armour was not a thing at all. I think that's it. I think that's it for real. Holy. But yeah, we had Ish out here. That's a fact.
From one artist, what is that shoe in Toronto?
Somebody said Bubbles.
You know why you don't know? And it's because that street urban scene exists. He is not involved in that. That's not what
and to sum up, the reason why I know is because I had it. You know what I'm saying? I had it. And same thing with the hats. Like, at one point, I had a fitted hat, flat, New York on the brim, or New York on the front. I had it. So it's not like Drake introduced me to this. These are things I had.
he does.
Somebody said flip flops.
That's crazy.
He's not a part of hip hop's scene. He's not a part of street urban scene. That's not what he does. He's a pop artist. He's going to teach you more about us. He's going to tell you the lingo of Atlanta. He's going to tell you, he's going to have the motto where you see a lowrider under the Bay Bridge. He's going to show you all of us. He's going to use Big Frida on Nice for What? Because he's a fucking fantastic pop artist, and that's what pop art is.
Big Frida.
Right? It's
Big
the things
Frida.
that assimilate to the top of culture, and then pop can reach and grab that because it's so high they can, hey, let me use that. This is why. So again, having this ridiculous argument is simple. It's not even that deep.
Oh, damn, it just ends? Golly. Well, what more can I say? What more can I say for real, bro? I'm sure I passed with flying colors. But I passed with flying colors because I already knew. It's not that I was introduced to these things from this person, because I promise you I wasn't. But these are things growing up here I knew. Like as a kid, you didn't know necessarily what you want, but you gravitated to the things that were popular. That's another thing here. We didn't know what was what. We just wanted the popular thing. Excuse me. So you got to consider that as well. Same thing with the music. We didn't know what we wanted from music. But as soon as something got popular, we gravitated to that. I don't know why I said it like that. We gravitated to that. That's what it was. And it's still like that in music for today. It's still like that in fashion for today. We're constantly gravitating to what is popular or what we see as the cool thing. Of course, that's not just for here, but I'm just speaking for here for now. That's how we moved, right? And it's been like that for years. You know, it's different when you go out into actual regions and you see, oh, nah, I need them Dickies. I need them Timberlands. You know what I'm saying? I need the Rockaware joints. I need something from this. We didn't have that idea. We had the idea of they go into the store and they see what's popular that a lot of people be wearing that's at the storefront that has another colorway. You see what I'm saying? That's how we played all that. We be buying jeans not realizing these jeans aren't good because the jeans color will be leaking onto the shoes. We're buying cheap jeans not realizing you got to buy the expensive ones so they don't leak on your shoes, especially if you have white shoes, because now you got to go clean the leaked ink off your white shoes, and a lot of times you couldn't clean it off. Still made me mad at grade 7 because I love them shoes, but them jeans leaked all over my joints. I was mad. Anyway, yeah. Mind you, I can't laugh. I'm still sick, but I'm just letting y'all know what's up. I'm letting y'all know what's up for real, bro. That's what it is around here. You know what I'm saying? So, shoot, it is what it is, man. I think I passed with flying colors, like I said. Shout out Glasses. Shout out D. Smith. Let's discuss. Shout out Tiff. Shout out Miss Neighbor. Everyone's favorite neighborhood therapist. All right, I appreciate y'all, okay? So with that being said, we're pretty much at the end of the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the vibe. You tapped in with your favorite Canadian reaction channel. Make sure y'all tap in with me for real, all right?